All right, so let's carry on to the next task, which is going to be about spreadsheet. In paper 3 we are doing for ICT paper, which is 0417. This is paper 3 for Feb March 2024. So we already done with the website authoring. You're going to find the video in the link. Let's move to the next task. So task number 5, spreadsheet. You're going to create a spreadsheet to calculate the cost for Serengeti balloon safaris. So we need mainly to calculate the cost, okay, of collecting guests from their lodge or camp and taking them to the place where the balloon will launch. The company, so they're going to take them to some of the places the balloon will launch. The company uses a number of fixed launch sites, so they have different launch sites. The site will change each day, so the site will change each day depending on the wind direction. All currency values must be in Tanzanian shillings with 2 decimal places and with the symbol of TZS or TZS. Okay, example like this. Okay, so number 10, open and examine this distance CSV file. This will be used in next steps 12 and 13. Do not make any changes. Let's just open that distance file and let's check what do we have over here. So as you can see, we have, let's expand it properly. I always click over here and then double click between any of the columns, and you can see we have a column that is called camp code, a camp name, and then we have a launch site. They said they have different launch sites, so you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. This seems like distances, how far the balloon can go. Okay, just analyzing. Okay, so open and examine the next calculation CSV file, and we need to save this file as a spreadsheet named calculate. So let me copy the name. Let's expand it and check it. So as you can see, you have here balloon safaris. Launch site seems going to come from up here. We're going to choose, and then the camp code, which will be from here, seems coming. And then we have, seems the name should appear depending on the code. So you can see if it is 1, then this name should appear over here. And distance, seems those are the distances. So depending on this, the distance should change. Okay, just for your information, there's one thing you can see that previously it wasn't showing all the decimal points, so I highlighted again, double click, and it showed all the proper decimal points. If you want to make it clear, highlight all of it and expand it a bit properly by yourself like that. Okay, and then we have driving times. Driving time in minutes, you have this in miles, and then the final cost we will calculate it. Okay, so let's get back again to the question paper. I forgot to save. Okay, let's go to file, save as, browse, and let's give it that name they suggested, followed with center number and candidate number. And the most important point, this is very crucial and important, you need to save it as an Excel. Because later, if there is something happen and you saved it, close that file, reopen it back again, you're not going to find most of the formats. Formulas will disappear because CSV is limited. So save it always in Excel format, this Excel format. Okay, so here we go, you can see it changed. Okay, right now we have our 2 files open over here, this one and this one. Okay, so let's get back again to the question. Format the spreadsheet so that it looks like this. Would they mean this one? Okay, so format it so it will look like this one. I'm just going to put it next to each other's so I can easily format them. Okay, the first point is the first line. It needs to be merged. So I'm going to take A, B, and C, and I'm going to merge it like that. Okay. Okay, merging, it's in the center. Font seems a bit larger, and the background picture will be a bit in gray. Okay, and then the next line, and you can see the borders are not all visible, only specific borders are visible. So for this one, the border is visible, so I'm going to make it appear outside. Okay, it's okay. You will only see it if you just did print and you looked in the print options over here. You will be able to see it. It's probably not that visible, but anyway. Next one is going to be second line. It's, you can see, empty. Okay, and then before moving to the third line, let me just by column. So A, you can see all the columns in A are right aligned, so I'm just going to do like that and right align it. Just make it into the center, it won't change that much. And then I'm going to make the B all center aligned, and whatever in C, it will be left aligned. Okay, let's move to second line. Nothing. Third line, it's supposed to be same, but we need to make this with the borders visible. So let me add all borders, you can see like that. Okay, right now the border appeared, so I did all borders also to the first line. And then we have fifth line, nothing appearing over here. And in second line, in fourth line, I mean, we have the name needs to be adjusted, Lodge camp code. Line 6, it needs to be also Lodge camp name. This also needs to be with the borders. 7 also needs to be all with the borders. Here in the 6, row 6 is not with the borders, so don't add it. And then you have 8 need to be as well, all in borders. 9, nothing, but cost supposed to include A and B columns like that. Okay, so it's quite matching right now. Let me expand some of the names. The name here needs to change distance from lodge / camp. Just a bit bigger. Okay, great. Yes, exactly matching. So we're done. Let's go and check the paper right now. What's saying next? So make sure that the cells on the first line, which is from A till C, they're merged and have an 18. Okay, that's an important thing. We already merged it. And it has an 18-point black font on a light blue background. Okay, that's blue, not gray. And it's supposed to be 18. Let's get back again. So this is supposed to be, it is 16. Need to increase it. And the background needs to be light blue like that. Okay, for the next point, enter your name, center number, candidate number, and the right align in the header. So let's go back again over here, go to the view section. You have a page layout over here, click on it, and in the header over here, just add whatever they mentioned. Name, center number, and candidate number. And if you don't like to use it like that, just go back again to view and make it back again to the normal view if you prefer this way. Number 12, place a formula in cell B6 to look up. So we need to look up for the name of the lodge or camp using the camp code and the external file, which is called distance, that we already opened it. So I told you previously we're going to get the name referring to the camp code by referring to the camp code. So we need to do it here in B6. It's just pretty simple. We're going to use the lookup, but which lookup are we going to use? VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP? You can see here we're having the headers or the titles in the form of columns, right? You can see over here I have this title, I have this title. So I need to get the name by referring to the code. So this is vertical, right? So I'm going to use here VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP and the value will be taken from the camp code. What's the array? Array will be taken from here. I just need these two. Actually, I even don't need the header from the top. Only the title, only the content. Okay, comma. What's the index that I want to refer? I actually have only 1 and 2. 1 is the code I'm using right now. 2 is what I want to get, right? So it's going to be column 2. And by default, it's going to be false, which is going to be exact match. Here we go. And we got our camp name. Let's try to change it. Let's make it 1. And is it the first name? Yes, it's correct. Okay, so let's me try to get it back again. 17. Let's go to the next question. Place a formula in B7 to look up the distance in miles from the lodge or camp using the launch site for external file. So you can see here we have a launch site from this external file. Okay, so we need to get those distances. They're already in miles, or we're going just to refer to it. So to do this, we're going to use again the lookup, but which lookup are we going to use? You can see here we have the lines. Right now we're going to refer to it in horizontal because the lines are right now going to be given to us in rows. Okay, so we need to select which row we want it depending on the camp code. Okay, first we're going to use these letters to refer to it. Okay, so let's start to use it. So H lookup, the value will be coming from the launch one. So click on the value, okay, and go to the table array. We're going only to press, or we're going to only, not press, we're going to select only these files which is in the launch site, okay, or these cells only which is in the launch site, comma. Which index column we need here? Do we need to get the first row, second row, third row, or which row? This is depending on this number, okay? So let's say this number is 17. So it needs to go and select number 17. But according to calculate to the rows, the row we started to select it from here, from D2, right? So the row will start to count if we selected, okay, I will show you. Let's say the row needs to be 17, right? It needs to reach to 17. Let's say whatever number we will select it will be over here 17. Okay, I'm going to show you. Let's make it false after that. This is by default, or exact match will be 0 or false. You can write false or 0. Okay, in this case there is something wrong, which is I selected only to be B4. Okay, what we got here, start to count with me. So this is the first line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's the line, right? And I have here the launch site to be E. So in E, it is 37, which is coming to this line. Actually, that's because I selected my array to start from D2. So if I want it to be exactly here, which should give me this number because it's supposed to be here. So what I can do, because it's just 2 rows ahead, so I'm just going to do B4 plus 2. So it's going to give me the right number. So go and check. Launch site E with launch camp code 7, it's 27.8 with this 2. Okay. So that's the correct value. Whatever you will change it, it will change accordingly. For the next question, place a formula in B8 to calculate the time in minutes. So be careful, it needs to be in minutes. Taken for the journey from the lodge or camp to the launch site, where the vehicle travels at around 20 miles per hour. That's another given point. Okay. So how it will be calculated in B8, so it will be the time, distance, which will be taken from where? The distance will be taken from here. That's the distance. It will be multiplied by 60 and then divided by speed. How much is the speed? 20. So pretty simple, straightforward. Distance multiply by 60. And then you can put brackets to be the priority, but actually the priority will be always whatever comes from the left. So, and then divided by speed, which is 20, which was given here, right? So that's it. Some of you might answer it like this, which is putting the brackets first to this. That's also correct. Okay. Question number 15, place formula in cell B10 to calculate the cost for this journey. So the cost, which is over here, we need to calculate it by driving time. So driving time should be rounded to the nearest hour. Why hour? Because here it's giving to us in minutes. So first, the driving time, round it to the nearest hour. Round, use it, take this time, and round it. That's the first thing. And it needs to be in hour. So what we need to do, we need to divide it by 60. Okay? That's almost 83 minutes. That's almost like 1 hour and few minutes, right? But we round it up, so it's just showing us 1 hour. Then it needs to be multiplied with 2,200 shillings. Let's go step by step. Multiply by 2,200 shillings. After that, plus the distance in miles. So plus the distance in mile. It's already in miles. And then multiplied again. So be careful about the points here, about the operations. Multiplied in again in 800. Here we go. We got the result. Okay, apply the formatting, appropriate formatting. You should remember that since the beginning they said it needs to be 2 decimal places and it needs to be in Tanzanian shillings, right? Which is TZS. Get back again here, go to home and go to this icon which is called accounting number format, or just right click and go to format cells, select currency and go and look for, type on your keyboard TZ. Can you see TZ on your keyboard, and it will just directly jump to that currency. It needs to be 2 decimal place as the question said as the paper saying. Okay, here we go. Okay, so make sure everything is your result, whatever appearing, it should be matching with this values. Next one is question number 16, which is apply appropriate formatting done. Okay, save your spreadsheet and print it in your spreadsheet showing the formula. Make sure that, okay, we need to, I already saved it. And I need to print this spreadsheet showing the formula. So this is an important point, show the formula while printing. Right now we need to print, so show the formula, that's one thing. The printout is supposed to be in the landscape orientation. So let's go right now to print. And let's set it as, where is the portrait here? Okay. It needs to be in a landscape. So that's landscape. It needs to show the row and headings, supposed to be visible. Okay. It needs to show the contents of all cells, or should be fully visible like that. And that's it. I need to make the cell formula to be visible. So I didn't do this. I should do it the first thing. Okay, right now when I go to print, so it is already in the landscape orientation. The header and columns are visible. Every content is visible over here, and that's our first print out. So select your printer and print it out. If you want to save it as well, which is I recommend it to save it, call it as print out 1. And make sure it is in your workspace, in the same place that you're putting all your files over there. No, that was the previous one, over here. Okay? Okay, for the next point, print the spreadsheet. That's another one, showing the values. So right now we need to show the values. So first thing you need to go back, do is hide the formula, adjust your file, Okay, I will make it a bit more with the space. Okay. Print out fits on a single page. That's an important point. And then all contents should be fully visible. They didn't say about row headings and columns should be visible. So they didn't mention to remove the row and column headings. So just leave it as it is. Don't change anything. Whatever just was set up, just leave it. Single page and fully visible. So fully visible. Is it on a single page? Yes, single page is a page orientation. Just leave it as it is. So this is our second printout. So that's it. That's the end of this task. I hope to see you in the next coming task, and all the best in your exams or mock exams or whatever you're preparing for.